Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got an exclusive video to bring to you, so stay tuned. So today we've been joined by journalist and professional YouTuber Andrew Ditton. Hello Andrew.
Professional? Hello.
Well, I think so. Better than I am. Well, thank you very much for bringing us over to meet you and Glynnis, and obviously Dougal.
Dougal, the star of the show. Dougal, come and say hello to your public. There. Dougal. There.
Say hello.
Oh, all right, kisses instead.
So, I just wanted to ask you a few questions, and seeing as I'm getting a little bit more seasoned in years, I need my glasses. So, they won't hurt these, I promise.
Okay, be gentle.
I will try. Okay. So, the first question is this. What sparked your interest in caravans?
I think that was basically growing up, going on holiday in a caravan. So, as a kid, as a baby, right from the age of 6 months, all through my life I've been doing caravan holidays. And I think as a child, caravanning holidays form memories that stay with you for life. And I think anyone who's had caravanning holidays as a kid will know that caravanning is for kids. It's really, it's fun, it's brilliant. You make friends on site. Yeah, I used to go away with my nan a lot, and she would just let us go off and play all day on our bikes, and that stays with you. And then I think as you get older and you become a teenager, the caravan started representing independence, and it was my own little independent unit, and it went from my nan looking after me to me looking after my nan, and we carried on like this until I was in my 20s.
I know Alfie loves it, you know. We take him along once in a while with us, and he does really enjoy it. Yeah. So now we know that you write for the Caravan and Motorhome magazine, but how long have you been a member?
So I joined the Caravan Club as was in 1987, or is it 86? 86 or 87. But I did have a break in the mid-90s when my caravan fell apart.
Right.
And like most 20-year-olds, I couldn't afford to replace it, and so I ended up motorcycle camping for a few, because I couldn't even afford a car when I had my first mortgage. So for a few years I just had a motorcycle and a tent, so I let my membership lapse until 2000 or 1999, and then picked it up again. So since 87, but I've had a break, but I think continuous membership has been, oh my goodness, 20 years.
Right. Okay. Now then, we're obviously talking about caravans as well. What was your first caravan?
So my first caravan, as many of your viewers will know, was a 1969 Thompson Glenmore. So that was my dad's caravan, and it was the caravan I went on holiday with my nan as a kid and all through my childhood. We had a really bad experience, or a poor experience, in 79 when we took the caravan down to Spain and the car broke down and we had to get recovered. And basically my mum said never again. She said never again. So the caravan became for me and my nan and my brother. And then when I was 14, my dad knew that he would never go caravanning with my mum again.
Right.
He said I could have it as a 21st birthday present.
Oh, cool.
So for 3 years I was talking nicely to people who had cars with tow bars to tow my caravan for me. So I could go on holiday with my nan, and then when I was 17 I could tow it myself.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Right. Now then, what made you take up vlogging, as in YouTubing?
That's really interesting. I've always had a very visual mind. I've always set pictures to music and things like that. And as I grew up, I used to make videos in my head, but as you will know, back in the 90s and or the 80s and 90s, you needed a lot of expensive equipment.
That's right, yeah.
To make films, and a lot of commitment to learning how to use it, and I had neither. But, you know, wonderful technology these days. And what really started it off was in 2009 when I bought a new camera for my magazine work. And this camera, it was a Canon EOS 5D Mark II, had a video capability, and I didn't buy it for that. But we were asked by Bailey to take the new Pegasus down to Switzerland. It was my dad's last holiday, so we got my mum back in a caravan again, and she loved it. And she loved it because modern caravans, obviously, you know, very different to Glynnis.
Yes.
Excuse me. So I decided when we went on this trip to Switzerland that I would just make a video because I could, and see how it goes. And it turned out to be a vlog before vlogging was even a thing, before anyone even did vlogging. I made this vlog and many people would have seen it, Challenge Pegasus.
Yes.
And I just wanted to tell the story of what we were doing. And by modern standards, it didn't do much in terms of views. And I remember Bailey saying, can you make this a bit shorter because it's 20 minutes? And back in those days, and I'm saying it like it's forever ago, but it's only 10 years ago. In those days, you couldn't even upload a video to YouTube that was over 10 or 15 minutes, was it?
Yeah, it was limited.
And the thinking at the time was you only ever made a video maximum 10 minutes because that's all people would ever watch.
Yes.
So different to how it is now. But that's how I started vlogging, and then did another one for Bailey with Orion. But also it was because 2009 was when I got my Airstream. Took my Airstream up to the Outer Hebrides, and I just wanted to share it with people and just say, look at this amazing place, and look at this amazing caravan, and look at this amazing things you can do if you have a caravan. Because another one of my motivations is that I can't stand stereotypes, I can't stand narrow-mindedness. And when people generally, you know, the Clarksons of the world, they look at caravanning and think, oh, boring. And I think it's anything but boring. And I wanted to show the world that caravanning is not boring, and that the Hebrides are not grim, and that you really can do things that you've only ever dreamed of if you had a caravan.
Yeah.
So that's really the motivation that started it.
Well, thank you very much for that. That's great.
Oh, sorry, I do go on, don't I?
No, it's all right.
You like the blue touch paper, and I go on, and I get so excited.
That's the way. That's why we do these things. Okay, so number 5. As a YouTuber myself, we tend to record most of our videos whilst we're away on holiday because that's the time we get. But you seem to spend most of your time away filming. So how do you manage to take a holiday, and do you ever put the camera down?
I do need a holiday. As I do like the expression that it's good to create a life, the kind of life that you don't need to take a holiday from.
Yes.
And I would say I don't need to take a holiday, but I think I do need a break now. And I'm not saying I'm going to break from the channel or anything, but as many people know, I have just realised my dream, and I've moved to the Outer Hebrides, and I live there now in a beautiful little cottage. And I think actually my caravanning is still going to be sharing my experiences with everybody, but I think now when I go home to bricks and mortar, that's going to be my quiet time. That's going to be my leave the camera, put the camera down, chill out. I've done a ton of videos about the Outer Hebrides. There's plenty of my stuff out there about it, plenty of other people's experiences of the Outer Hebrides out there now. So now I'm looking at the islands and my home as my downtime, as my quiet time. So that's really, I think, where I'm going to go with that. Yeah.
So it's like your private spot, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your peace and quiet and your private spot.
Yeah, because obviously for 99.9% of people, the caravan is their holiday, is their downtime, their leisure time. But I've happened to have turned it into something that I enjoy doing. I'm not going to call it the J word or the W word.
No.
But it's something that I'm making a living from. but it does mean, I'll give you an example, Phil. When I was down in the French Alps with James, with the beautiful Bersner motorhome. Hello Bersner, please can I have one? I said to him, we had such a great day snowboarding. A lot of that was, as I showed on the video, was waiting for James to take a picture, getting cold, but we had some really good fun. And I said to him, isn't it a shame that we didn't ask Bersner that we could have the motorhome for an extra week, and put the cameras down one Saturday and leave them down till the next Saturday and just have a week's holiday snowboarding. And then we both looked at each other and said, that would never happen.
No.
Because you'd have a great day, you'd have great conditions and go, oh, I'll just capture this because it looked really nice. And oh, look at that view over there, we'll just capture this because that looked really nice.
Yeah, so, we've missed that or we've missed that.
Yeah, so I think because it comes from the heart, this passion of wanting to show people how great it is, I don't think that ever stops.
No.
And that's why I've decided that for me, that's why I had to give up full-time touring.
Yes.
Because I was never switching off.
No.
And now I've got a place in a place I love, in an area I love, in a country I love, and that is now going to be where I switch off.
Cool. Yeah. I hope I really enjoy it, actually, Andrew.
Thank you.
So now we're sat in Glynnis, and she's a love. I have to admit, it's a lovely caravan. It brings back childhood memories for me, actually, from when I was a kid. But just thinking of Glynnis now, what's the future plans with Glynnis?
Well, first of all, Phil, thank you very much for your beautiful upholstery. If any of you don't know, Phil and his lovely wife Juliet have done the upholstery in Glynnis.
Whee.
So if you haven't caught that, thank you, Phil.
It's all right.
And Juliet. So that was the biggest thing, is getting the upholstery done. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
The next thing is really need to get new curtains, because these curtains are not original, and the original curtains really brighten the place up. And a friend of mine, Cameron, who runs the Retro Caravan Club, he's got some of the original material that I want to try and get hold of to get copied, and then we'll get some original curtains. So that's got to be done. The whale heater is absolutely brilliant.
I can vouch for that. It's lovely and warm in here.
And it was so quick to warm up, wasn't it? When
it
we
was
come in the
very.
van. What else am I going to do? It's really now just going to be general maintenance. It's been painted with emulsion, and where I had a leak through the front window, it's got stained, because apparently emulsion doesn't let the walls breathe. It doesn't let the moisture out. So the emulsions probably will at some point have to come off and be a different kind of paint on the walls. The chassis needs just doing up because I've been using Glynnis in the winter, the road salt has discoloured the white paint. Yeah. So that needs doing. I've got a new shock absorber needs to go on. So really just maintenance. So there's nothing big now. As soon as we get the curtains done, it will just be maintenance, and that's something I'm going to do later this year.
Now then, we're going to talk a little bit about Dougal. Well, dogs in general,
Dougal.
really.
You're going to do. Dougal's down here, everyone. He's not really interested in getting out. Are you?
Well, we all know Dougal is part of and present in most of your videos that you make. We were just wondering, is it getting any easier to find places that are dog friendly? Oh, dog friendly.
Dog friendly places. I think life is slowly getting easier. I think it's generally the more tourist savvy places are, or the more metropolitan places are, then it's far easier to take a dog. So, for example, I think the best place in the entire UK to take a dog is the Lake District. I've heard so many good reports about the Lake District for taking your dog, and most tourist areas now, they realise, especially if they're walkers, so Yorkshire Moors, things like that, they realise that if they're going to turn dogs down, they're going to turn a lot of trade down. Yeah. So I found it is fairly easy. I use apps on the phone to find dog-friendly places. I can't remember the name of the site now. I think it's Dog Friendly, but there's plenty of dog directories on the websites now. I always ring up and check places, and then, as I say, metropolitan cities too. Glasgow, Edinburgh, Birmingham. I'm not so sure about. Manchester's pretty good. So yeah, I do find it really good. And another great thing is that I use an app called Happy Cow as well to help find vegetarian or plant-based food. And most but not all veggie or vegan restaurants will take a dog. And generally, if they're going that extra mile to cater for awkward eaters and for the dog owners, they're generally nice places. They're places where the owners have thought about the customer experience, and therefore I find that really positive. So I generally find dog-friendly places are actually quite good because they're thinking about the customers and what they want.
Well, Andrew, thank you very much for answering my questions. I do appreciate it. What are you after?
Juliet's flapjacks.
Go on, I suppose you've earned one. But before you have that, shall we say goodbye?
Okay.
Well, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'm just going to leave it to Andrew now to say goodbye.
Well, all I think from... Hang on, Dougal, we've got to be in this.
Quick,
Dougal,
quick.
Come on, Dougal. So it just leaves us to say, from Dougal, from Phil, and from me, thanks for tuning in. Always rather good. Are you going for a channel takeover?
Well, I'll try.
Yeah, you're going to watch it.
Go on, you can have your flapjack.
Thank you. No, sorry, Dougal. No.
So today, I'm pleased to say that we're going to be chatting to Andrew Ditton, who's one of the YouTubers.
Sorry. I didn't say anything.
I'm watching the damn screen and I shouldn't be. It's my fault.
Hello.